thing going. So grades should be up. If you see something with the zero, that means I don't have that. I didn't find that project. So if you sent it, I didn't see it, please send it again. Let me know whatever. Like, hey, dude, I sent the logo. Here's a copy. Some people owe me one project or two. Some owe me all three so far. So if you've got work, get it to me, guys. Don't fail the class because you didn't turn in projects. I mean, I don't, give me something, we'll get you through. Okay. So I'm not looking for absolute perfection. I'm just really checking to make sure you can use these programs and all of that kind of good stuff. Okay. So I can accept grades up to Thursday or so. All right. So get those to me. And again, if you're having problems, someone said like having problems with, take a screenshot, save it as a PDF, whatever it happens to be. Just get stuff over to me, okay? And we can work out the bugs or issues if you have them through email. But you know, don't get zeros on projects. So I put the zeros in just so it shows up, and you understand that I didn't find it. So if you have a zero on a project, like I'll say your logo, and you know you turned it in, just resend it. Say, hey, I'm resubmitting, or I'm sending. I saw I had a zero, whatever you want to say. So I'll know to get that marked down and grade it for you. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Like I said, we got this week left, but you know, just get me the stuff. I mean, those that are in there, you'll see, right? Everybody's doing very, very well. Everybody that submitted projects, you know, there's not a failure in any of them. Okay. And in fact, most of them are upper 80s, 90s type of thing. Okay. You guys are doing very well from what I've seen. And I don't expect anything different for the few projects I haven't seen yet. Okay. So get those turned in, please. Okay. Questions on that? Anybody having major issues? Like their computer broke and they're freaking out and they've been using their iPhone for the last 4 weeks. Anybody? Everybody's okay with getting the stuff finished up?
Yeah, it's been going all right.
Okay. All right. All right. Anybody having? Everybody's good then, right? So I can expect to see those projects over the next day or two. Is that right? Plus your magazine.
Yeah.
Right? I got the magazine.
Yeah.
And is it okay if like after class we just double check to be like, hey, I got the message that you got it, you know, just to double check for
Okay, say
zeros,
that
or should we do
again.
that later?
Say it again.
Should we double check with you on the projects that have zeros that we've turned in, or like after class, or should we just do that via
Yeah,
email?
you can look at it now if you want. It's under grades.
Okay.
So it should be online with the on your Canvas or whatever the heck it is now, right? Let me just, yeah. So just look at that, and if there's a question, you can private DM me or whatever, or hang out after we're done. Okay. But like I said, if it's a zero, it just means I couldn't find it in my email. I went through all my emails. I went through all my folders of where things were submitted. Now there might have been something that got lost. I think I got probably 99% of them. Again, I'm not holding you accountable if it was late. There is no late. Okay, just give me the project. So I'm not taking points off if something was missing, quote unquote. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just show me projects.
All right.
Okay. And then Christian, I think you're fine, Christian. I'm looking at one, two, you got everything turned in so far. No one has the attendance grades, but you guys are all been here, so you'll get all your points on that, just so you know. And then we just have the final magazine. Okay. And it's worth a little bit more points, 150 instead of 100, but it's kind of accumulating of all the Photoshop, Illustrator, everything kind of bringing it together. But again, I don't expect anything but good progress and good work out of those. And we have time today. Okay, so if you have your magazine, you know, feel free to open it in InDesign or save it as a PDF, and we can share screens and take a look at them. I'm going to do a quick little Photoshop review, and then we'll have time to look at projects. You can share screens. Okay. Anything else for today? Get it going? Questions on anything? Just double checking the attendance. Okay, I think we got everybody. All right, so I'm going to do a quick share. And again, I'm just going to do like kind of a, I don't know, 10-minute, 15-minute review on Photoshop. Again, if there's something that comes up, just shout out. We'll go through it, but I'm just gonna, ending the review. And then on Wednesday, we're just gonna be kind of looking at projects and such. All right, Photoshop. So here is a raw file that I opened up, and again, I opened it as a smart object. So I know that I can double click on it and I can come back in and make adjustments. So this was raw. I can see I've got a little time exposure. I've got a jet going up in the sky, and I can see some cars that are riding through the valley here in Yosemite. And I know there was a full moon over here. So this kind of glare coming through is the full moon. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to open it back up in raw. So this truly is a raw file that I'm working on. Nothing simulated here. I'm just going to kind of bump the exposure, and you can see I can get the exposure so bright through raw that it looks like it's daytime. Okay, again, this is the power of raw. So if you can shoot raw, I highly encourage that. Okay, so if you have that opportunity to put raw on your camera or even your iPhone, that's probably something that's going to be good for you. Open a little bit. I'm going to give it a little more color temperature. We always think of night as blue. It's kind of like the color. I don't want to go too blue, but I'm going to put a little green in there. If I go too blue, it's going to look totally crazy, right? But I'm just going to give it a little bit blue tint compared to what the camera was. And I'm going to ignore the light flare. Just assume it's not there. I'm not going to try to correct that at this point. And I'm just going to open. So again, as you're working, if you can work with a smart object, all the better. Okay. But there are some things that, may or may not work. For example, I'm going into my healing brush to kind of get rid of some spots. And you see that does not work because it's a smart object. So at this point, I can just kind of duplicate that smart object. And then I can take that layer and I can rasterize it, which makes it just pixel based. Okay, so they are the same at this point until I start to modify on there. So I'm just gonna zoom in, and I know I've got some spots up here. At this point, I probably want to make my brush a little smaller. You can use the right and left brackets to get yourself along on those. And I'm just kind of looking for some spots in the sky that I know are bad. And my monitor is dirty. It's kind of a pain. Now I might want to get rid of this. This is a jet. Okay, so I might just kind of just swipe that through and kind of make that disappear. Just because it's like, why is there a jet? Well, of course, there's jets in the sky, and there's jets flying over. That looks a little weird. And this is some weird clustering going on with the stars. I don't know. I'm not a astronomer. And you can see there's some shake, right? You can see there's a little bit of shake. And I'm not sure how long I left this open. But it almost looks like the stars are starting to drag. See, there's that motion, right? So, I mean, I left this open pretty long. I'm actually going to go back and look just for sake of curiosity. I'm going to open up that raw file. 25 seconds. So you can see within 25 seconds, the Earth and the stars rotated enough that that we get this drag on the sky, right? So you can see the stars, how they're actually moving. And so that's not shake on my tripod, because if we look down here, this is pretty sharp. I mean, it's pixelated because it was at night, and we've enlarged. Well, zoomed in, and we've kind of adjusted the light so you can see things. But this is not blurry from that, whereas the stars, you can actually physically see them moving. So in 25 seconds, look how fast you're moving. It's nuts, man, dude. If we all thought about these things, we would go crazy. How fast we're moving. Just now, sitting here, how fast the Earth is spinning. Right? Just see that going around. Dude, your head would be dizzy. That stuff is fascinating. Right? And then these stars are like, I don't know, millions of light years away, some of them. So what you're seeing is a million years ago, looking back in time. Whoa, dude, it's just trippy. All right, so we made a copy so we could go through and do some adjustments at the healing brush. And I'm sure there's more problems in there, but I'm not gonna mess with them now with our review. Whenever you're working, you want to try to be as non-destructive as possible. So I'm going to actually take that layer I just kind of worked on with that healing brush, and I'm going to go to convert to a smart filter. So I'm really back to where I started. Okay, does that make sense? So this is a smart filter too. They call it a smart object, but it's a smart object because I can go back to the original. But smart object and smart filter, basically the same. So and if you look, it tells you the same. They're both smart objects here. So the advantage of this is when I'm working with a smart object is I can get in here and I can play with my filters and effects and not be destructive. Okay. Also, when I'm down here with my adjustment layers, they're not destructive. So if I go, hey, I want to do some more color shifting, and I'm going to just come in here, I'm going to give it a little bit more blue, a little more saturation. And I'm going to darken it just to, let me go up. See, I don't want to go too high. Pull that there. And I'm going to make it just affect the layer below. Okay. We did that. So we've got an adjustment layer here on that. Here, I can go in and do some filter effects. And I'm going to, I'm going to do a sharpen. Let me see with this shake reduction. Maybe we'll get rid of some of the stars, a little blurriness of the stars. What's that warning for? Preview as reduced button. Okay. We're just going to click. I'm going to click OK. I'm just going to. So because we were a smart object with a smart filter here, we can turn that off. Okay. You can see what it's doing. It's actually sharpened up the foreground a little bit. Okay, that's where you're really, I think, visually seeing it. Stars aren't too much different, but you could turn them on and off. Okay, had we not made this a smart object using a smart filter, once you kind of hit it, you hit it, and it's going to be affected. Okay, and you're not going to be able to come back and change it. Within a minute, you could, right? You can Command Z, work it backwards. But had you opened this picture up, 2 days from now, you would not be able to go back and make that change. So working smart filters with the smart objects is really the way to go, and being non-destructive by doing these adjustment layers on top is the way to go. Okay, so you can totally add effects to that. I'm just going to kind of go through and push that up so you can see those effects happening a little bit more. Okay, and they're going to affect obviously every picture a little bit differently. And again, these are simulating some of the effects you would find on a camera filter that you could put in front of your lens. Maybe one of those kind of ones. Anyway, we're just going to keep that. Just going to bump it up a little bit. Okay, so now again, we have that here as a filter. If we don't want it, boom, we can turn it off. Okay, so keeping yourself having layers working as non-destructively as possible is definitely the way to go in Photoshop. Okay, because guaranteed, again, you or the client's going to change their mind in about a day. Okay, and you're going to go, ah, it's too blue, it's too yellow, it's too whatever, right? So you want to keep those layers. So you're going to save it as a PSV, a Photoshop document. And then when you're all said and done, you can export this as a JPEG, a TIFF, PNG, whatever format you want. Okay, because those don't typically have layers built into them. But the Photoshop document will. Okay, and that's what you want to be able to do to be able to make these adjustments with this. Remember, things are getting a little fancier now. They've added, when we went through the idea of the excuse me, what is it? Sky replacement. All right, that's kind of sweet to do. I'm gonna get nuts here, right? It's daytime with the clouds. All right, look at that. Dude. Huh? Let me see if I have any stars in here. Ooh, lightning at night. Whoa, that's nice. So again, you can adjust these and you can make these what you will, and you can bring them in. And remember, they are trying to interact with the photo, so they're not perfect, but they are trying to work in some of those color cast into your photo itself. Okay, so they're not necessarily perfect, but you'll see over here, you can make the adjustments to fit. It gets a little kind of weird in there, but shift the edge a little bit so it's coming in. Okay, boom. All right, so again, it's a non-destructive because I can turn that off. Okay, so those are the way you want, because you're going to go, oh, that's cool. You're digging it. And then the client or even yourself are going to go, I don't like it anymore. Right. So you're going to want to be able to turn things on and off as you go in order to adjust things. Okay. So we're just going to get rid of that. Go back to where we were. What else I'm going to cover real quick? Save. Don't forget to save your files. Okay. Photoshop is it's one of those times where it takes a process to go through. Kind of think about what you're trying to do and work up. Meaning, I'm trying to make color adjustments and such. It's easier to do those after I've done something like image correction, meaning I got rid of the spots or the marks where I'm going to be using my healing brushes, okay, or my content aware or those kind of things, or even my clone tool. It's much easier to do that early and then come back in and do a color adjustment or any kind of filters and effects. Do those as after that. Okay, so you're going to kind of work in a logical process, so you're not having to come back over stuff. Okay, because you might do a clone and the clone might not be as effective after you've gone through and did all these color adjustments. It's going to be all weird. But had you done the color adjustment first, it's going to work. Okay, so just kind of work a process. Again, it takes time. And again, Photoshop's one of those things you want to just practice with. Okay, don't just go, okay, we did it once and I'm good. It takes some time to go. And then the last thing is they've added some what we call neutral filters. Okay, so these are new under filters. They're the same thing, but they're ways of kind of speeding up things. So here's an example of the portrait. So what they're really doing is kind of doing add-ons. Like I told you over here about kind of plugins and things that I've purchased. Now they're building them in, and we're going to let this download for a sec. Hopefully this goes pretty quick. And it's going to be, in this case here, how Colorize helps you recolorize a black and white photo. Okay, so there's things that they're building into Photoshop now that will help you as you work. Here's one, it's called Super Zoom. Zoom in and crop an image, then let Photoshop add detail to compensate for the loss of resolution. So again, the computer is thinking for you, okay? And in this case, going to enhance the image, okay? So look at what they're adding. They keep adding these things. So I haven't even done some of these yet. What's this going to do? Let's look, the valley, huh? Right there's day, night. And we're looking at, magically transform a landscape and mixing with another image and changing attributes like time of day. What is do? This sounds like black magic here. Let's download that one too. We'll see. That's something I want to play with. So, dude, it's getting so smart. And someday you're just going to open a picture and tell it, make the sky lighter. You're going to literally talk to it, right? Or you're going to touch your screen and go, hey, over here, lighten, and you're going to just scratch your screen and it's going to just do it for you. It's getting nuts. So neutral filters, this is the kind of the newest arena area that Photoshop is introducing, Adobe's introducing. Again, these are styles and ways, and you can see their beta, they're still working on them. They're not even fully up, okay? So they're coming down the line, and by all means, play with them, work with them, see how they work. But I think they're kind of a nice addition. Okay, from what I've seen, the couple I've used. Okay. Questions on Photoshop? 101, little quick 10-minute review there. Downloading. Everybody good with Photoshop?
So
Yeah, I've actually used that landscape mixer myself. I think that was in the last patch, and it was pretty cool. Like,
Does it
it's
work?
really easy
Okay.
to. Yeah, it does. It does. It's got a little bit of like a long download, but it's good. I think it's worth it.
Okay. Anybody else comments on Photoshop or questions on Photoshop? Anything you're dying to ask you haven't asked?
I'm good. I've actually spent a decent amount of time with Photoshop, so uh, not many questions to ask.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, as you get into other classes that are going to be using it, teachers are going to have a little bit more specific sometimes with the questions or the problems that they're going to show. And I'm sure some of them are going to get a little bit more into 3D, especially for those that we're going to go into the animation area. So you'll get it. Don't worry. And again, Photoshop is, I don't know, one of the tools I use the most, honestly. I mean, InDesign, I would say Illustrator and Photoshop are my two primaries, depending on what I'm doing, and then InDesign. Okay, so InDesign's probably third, and Photoshop, Illustrator kind of 1 and 2. Depends on the week or depends on what I'm doing and the type of project. But I use those the most. So, you know, open them up. You're like sitting around and you're like, hey, what do I do or what? Take some photos, bring them in, play with them, and see how you do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this doing here? Oh, I'll learn it later. Is it gonna do something crazy? No, I'm kind of captivated now. I'm like, oh, this is looking awesome. I can tell you it's heavy duty. Hope my computer doesn't crash. I probably shouldn't be doing this now. Like, oh, the Zoom crashed it all. Photoshop crashed everything. What did it do? See, I can say, oh, wait, I got that purple haze. How crazy is that? I'll make it winter. Is that what this is telling me? Dude, if this makes this look like snow on top of the hills here, that's like some serious black magic. And then it's like, don't trust any picture you ever. If this does what I think
Right.
it do, don't trust anything. Unless you took it yourself. Holy cow. I mean, it's bad enough with the skies when they replace the skies. But you can see here, like it's adding the purple cast onto the hills. Look up it down here and stuff. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Dude, this just like changed my day. Because I've been there in the snow and it's like, it's pretty good. And look how it like, it knows how to put the snow in, not just like, it's like, I mean, it's not on the trees right or anything, but on the hills, on the mountains here. Holy crap. Again,
You
I
notice it,
probably not going
it
to blow
added
it up,
like shading to it too, which is kind of crazy.
right?
Like on the right hand side.
No, we're in and we're putting our foot. Dude. Holy cow. So let me just click OK. This week and we'll go back through what this did. It'll take a second probably. Oh my, this is like mind blowing. It's not perfect by any means, guys, but you know, again, depending. Reason it is exciting is because would I blow this up and print it out, you know, 11 by whatever, I make a big thing and put it on the wall behind my couch? No, right? It's just not going to hold up. I can guarantee you as we zoom in, it's going to get pixelated and you can see that it's getting blurry. It's not going to work. But so much of what we're doing now is online or in social media stuff that you can kind of create this. All right. Imagine here, you know, I'm looking for, I want to make a picture for my Instagram and say, I don't know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, right? And I'm like, I don't have a really good picture of Yosemite in the snow, which I don't. I've been there when it snowed, but I've never gotten a good picture because it melted too soon or whatever. I haven't been there in the dead of winter where there's a lot of snow, like this would kind of represent. But I want to do that, right? I'm like, I got this vision in my head. Again, this is being creative. I'm not trying to be, you know, National Geographic documenting, you know, New York Times kind of thing. I just want to be creative with my photographs and be able to express and share a mood or a thing, you know. So I've got this, and now all I got to do is literally come back, and it's my photo that I started with. So it's not like I'm worried about copyright or anything because it's my picture that I took, right? That's not right. It's not the right colors or anything. I know, but oops. Oh, right. I can just kind of. You know. That's not right. But you see what I'm saying, right? You can do this now and get that atmosphere. Holy cow. I wasn't gonna, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna come back. Look for this on Christmas Day on the National Park Geek site because I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna call that Christmas. Desktop setup. Dude, that's crazy. I'm loving that. And that was one click, right? I can come back in and let me see. So it does, it then brings it in as a whole new layer, which you can turn off. Okay. And I'm sure you can bring it back in with layers and adjustments on that. And let me just double check real quick before we move on to anything else. So bring it back to where it was. No, it doesn't. Let me see. Turn that on. You stay on there. Adjustment layer. No, it's starting over. Okay. So it doesn't look like it keeps it going, meaning you can come back and, okay, I want more snow, I want more winter, whatever they're calling it here. So you got to make those adjustments first before you export, or you have to go back and remix it. But I'm going to go back and remix, I think. That's awesome. So cool. All right, save. Make this second nice. Ooh, I got my head's crazy now. All right. Questions. I'm going to open my share and making sure. So if you have projects, yeah, one or more. Yeah, it's going to look perfect soon. You're right. I think as they start to, I used to think you could do this. I mean, like it just kind of blows your mind. The sky was crazy enough for me, but now I can make it go from like fall to winter, or from summer to winter. Holy man, dude, I'm gonna go nuts. That's gonna be fun. All right, who's got stuff? Anybody want to share? Get some feedback? Magazine, anything at this point, right? Because everything's kind of due. The magazines are obviously due Wednesday. But we've got posters, we've got whatever you have, and if you want to share something, take it. It's yours. Anybody want to share?
I can go ahead and share my magazine because I wanted some help with some elements.
Sure.
Okay, this should be it. Here it is.
Yeah, it's going.
So my magazine, it's
Nice.
about archaeology and paleontology. So specifically about the two articles I chose are specifically about ancient creatures that lived in the ancient oceans. So that's why I had blue for my element. So this is the first spread for the first article.
Nice.
I really like the way I did the first article so far. The second page or the second spread, because the article continues, I'm still a little iffy on. I did some more rearranging today because there's like this nice empty space, and I'm like, I don't know how I should resolve that.
Well, first off, don't you're talking about the space below this, the picture with the hammer? Is that where you're
yeah, I'm not sure if maybe
I would say one, don't worry about it too much. We call white space is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, probably maybe one you could put a caption in there. Always have you could do a caption below that picture, and that'll kind of fill it in. I wouldn't sweat that. Like I said, when you start to put every little nugget into everything, it gets to be too much. So right now it feels actually very good. So I like, thing, and then you got a big picture that was nice. And then on that first page, you even had your text wrapping around the fossilized shell. That looked really nice too.
Okay.
So it's really nice here. Good.
That's good. Thank you. This is the spread for the second article.
Cool. Now on this, I would say the only thing when you have these wide columns, it gets a little hard. Well, it's not hard to read. It just becomes like psychologically, we're like, oh my God, this is heavy. Does that make sense?
Like your eye it gets hard to follow each line because in like web design, we have our columns pretty short also to prevent that.
So what happens is when you get to the end, you got to go all the way back to the other end to continue, and their eye gets lost a little bit. You'll get it, but it'll slow you down. So I would use the text column tool. Click on one of the text, one of your column. No, just right here. Just click on the box. I'm pointing at the screen. You can't see me, right? That's
sorry.
Did you see me pointing? Just click on one. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And then go to properties tab on the right.
Properties.
And then see down here where it says text frame. Down here it says 1.
Mhm.
Make that to 2. Make that 2. Boom.
Mhm.
It did it automatically for you. Does that make sense? It broke it up. So yeah, that one column's got to get changed to white, whatever. And you can click on the next column or next one and do the same thing. Don't worry about the white, or you can make it, but you can see how you don't have, there you go. See?
Okay.
Literally within a matter of seconds, you can break that back up. And you can adjust even the width between the columns, the gutter, right? With the next number over says 2.5. Right, so that one right next to the word text frame, that will let you break up the columns as to how they line up.
Okay.
That's good though.
Thank you.
Nice, you got good images, some pull quotes.
I think the last thing I want to know is like how we should handle like our back cover for our magazine.
Well, when I was doing it, right, I was just putting up a quote. You know, you could find some scientific quote about, you know, paleontology, or ancient sea life, or all life came from the ocean kind of thing. Or you could do something along the back like, hey, coming in next issue, the spring issue, and kind of what's coming soon. It's kind of listed off. Those kind of things.
Okay. That's good.
Good though.
Thank you.
Very nice. Excellent. All right, anybody else? Anybody else have questions? We see what's got to be done there. Obviously, you can do it because we just saw it. Anybody else? Be shy.
I'm still working on mine. I'm gonna show it off on Wednesday. All right.
Okay. I'm going to just type in my email to chat just in case. So as we're getting this next share going here, again, look at the grades in the canvas. Okay, everything should be there up to the poster. Excuse me. If there's a 0, it just means I didn't see it if you sent it. Okay, so send it again. If there's a 0 and you didn't send it, send it. Okay, because again, I don't want you guys failing or getting any grades lower simply because you didn't turn something in, right? So even if it's not done or done to your expectations, just send me the work, right? Give me something better than nothing. Does that make sense? And I know we're busy, and if something happened, oh, I forgot, just do it, right? Give me a logo, give me a poster. We've got a couple days. You can do this, and get it emailed over. Okay. All right. Ready to share? Anybody else? Anybody else say they want to share today?
I'm still working on mine.
Okay. Working on it, meaning working on it, you're going to want to share it in a minute, or you're just working on it?
I'm working on it because I still have to do that poster project on the traveling. I still have to do that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'd share mine too, but I'm on my phone right now. Like I don't have
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
yeah. Sorry.
No worries. Again, we'll look at them Wednesday too. Okay. Because you can see that, right? We just saw one of it was awesome. Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to share? Or let y'all go work on the stuff. Like I said, if you have a question, send me an email. if you see a little zero in there, that means I haven't marked it, obviously, right? So I've marked everything that I think I have. Okay, so that's why I didn't leave it blank, because I didn't want anybody thinking, oh, he still hasn't seen mine yet. So if there's a zero, I haven't seen it, send it again. And we'll get those graded up. We'll get you guys done, guys. All right. Anything else?
Can I just super real quick confirm to see if
Yeah.
you got the email I just sent you?
I sent you. Hold on, let me check you here.
The last name on the email address might be different now that I think about it.
Don't see anything yet. No, last thing I got was, no, I didn't get it. Somebody looking for an art director. Oop, oh, there it is. Just came in. The deeper, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's the one.
Did I not mark you on that? I know I saw it.
I think that one and the one before that actually both were missing. So I just wanted to make sure they're in there.
So that's me. See, that's why, because I know I saw that one. I got your logo. Hold on. So let me just check them here. Okay. So logo, we'll take, I'm just gonna write them down so I know, and I will put those in.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it real quick, and I'm gonna mark it down, and I will get those up on the website. And then, okay, we're getting the magazine coming in from someone, so I'm gonna mark that. And I've got, okay. All right, I think we're good there. All right, so I got those. Again, keep just sending them in. Dude, I'm as quickly as I get it, as soon as we get done, I'm gonna switch back over and get those updated grades in. As you see it, I'm gonna try to grade those as quick as possible. Okay. And I will at least send you out back an email saying, hey, I got it. But I'm trying to, because time is of an essence, get that done for you. Okay. Anything else before I let you guys go and work and be productive? No?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Hmm.
See, I get confused here. Like I just got an email, but that's from somebody in the other class. Like I said, that's where I get nuts, because I got everything from one class to another. And Andrea, I got that. I'm so easily confused too. Okay. All right.